Today we have gathered here for a common purpose, to strengthen our bonds of trust, to ensure digital safety for our youth. The TikTok team, together with our partner, Eve Minette. Wapi Makofia, Eve Minette Solutions. Congratulations. We want to ensure that there is safety, especially because we are committed to safeguarding this incredible space that allows users from all walks of life to share their passions, talent, and stories. Ask your neighbor, what's your story? All right. So today we are honored amongst us to have our very able Mr. Joel Wamaloa, the AG, CEO of KFCB. Wapi Makofi ya Kiongozi. Then we're also honored to have Nedi Kitsuru, Ministry of Sports and Youth. Wapi Makofi. Then with us again is Vera Origa, Media Council of Kenya. And then we have Laura Makoha, Media Council of Kenya. Then we have Lindsay Oriko, National Cohesion and Integration Commission. Okay? Now before we invite our guests, I'd like to invite our hosts. None other. Guys, I need drum rolls, bana. We cannot be in such a nice venue and then we are not clapping. But any drum rolls? Wonderful. Now, someone tell me the full name of this school, quickly. Woodcreek International. Sorry? Karibu sana kiongozi. Kindly welcome us to your home.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, TikTok fraternity. Good morning. My name is Peter Karoki. I am the director of Woodcreek School, and mine is very simple. As the host, I was just told, welcome the guests. A week ago, when I was called by a lady from the Kenya International Schools Association, which we are members, and I was told, Mr. Karoki, I would want you to give us your venue. They've been to this venue and they like it so much. And for us to hold a TikTok event. And I asked her, is this the group that was being discussed the other day in Parliament, that they have, they don't post good content online? And he said, yeah, these are the ones. And will they give us as a school a good name or a bad name? And say why they want to come is they want to, get their name light because they've been pasted in the wrong way. I'll tell you about Woodcreek, and most people don't know. You're saying Woodcreek International School, Woodcreek School. We are all that. We've been here for the last 6 years. Woodcreek School is only 6 years old. We started in 2018. We started with only 15 children in 2018. Today we have more than 600 students across the board, from kindergarten all the way to high school. We pride ourselves as an international school first and foremost, because we want to teach our children to be able to fit anywhere in the world when they finish school. And two, we are a Christian school. So someone has told you, do not take photos, do not do what in Woodcreek School. We are a Christian school. And a Christian school, we are very firm and a bit conservative on a lot of behaviors and a lot of the way we teach children how to behave, how to follow, what they follow as they grow up. We've been 2 or 3 times told by a number of people that we're too conservative. But that's probably one of the reasons why TikTok, when they're putting the content, whatever the contents they get online, a lot of it by the older generation, this is not appropriate. It's because a lot of children have not been taught the right things to do. But from where I sit, I think the content that should be posted, the and that's why you say safer together. The content that should be put online, it is seen by everyone, including the small kids. Everyone has a phone nowadays. So, as the people who are the forefront in being able to upload materials online, it is important that you follow the right procedure and upload the right stuff. That is one. Two, we have children who are able to see all the materials online. And if they misinterpret, if they don't get the right information, then they will of course become not what we intend them to do. From the African continent, there are some things that we honestly, especially the older people, do not accept at all. Things to do with same-sex marriages, and all that left of all those things. And a lot of those things, a lot of people are learning them online. It is important that as we get to become part of the international community, of course, we are part of the international community, we make sure that we always know what is our culture, what are the limits that other people should see us, and it's the high time people start seeing us as Africans at the same time as part of the international community, and what we believe in and what we do should be seen as part of the international community. I think with that, we welcome you to hold your event here in Woodcreek School. Evelyn and the rest of the team, thank you very much for choosing us, and I hope this will make our name as Woodcreek School become better and better. We mean well for the children, and we want to educate as much as possible.
Our next speaker is host TikTok, and that is none other than Zara Basharat. Zara Basharat is the head of public policy programs with the goal of addressing some of the most critical and pressing issues in our regions by leveraging the scale and impact of technology. She works closely in building alliances with government across academia and non-profit sector. Zara has a background in media strategy, communications, social impact, and sustainability. Prior to joining TikTok, Zara served as a director of communications and digital sustainability at Jazz, which is part of the Vision Group. She has also led communications and sustainability portfolios at PepsiCo, Nestle, World Bank, and United Nations Information Center. Quite a portfolio, right? Zara is currently enrolled at the MBA program at the London Business School. Prior to that, she studied social impact strategy at the University of Pennsylvania. She's a Boehm Media Fellow as part of the Opportunity Collaboration Global Network of Leaders, the Women's Impact Alliance Fellow, and IVLP, which is Development Future Women Leaders, Alumnus, and run by the United States Department. All right. Are we ready for Zara? Guys, you can't be that quiet. Welcome aboard here, Zara, in absentia, because she's joining us virtually from Dubai. Karibu sana, Zara. Welcome. Kindly allow us, we're having a technical hitch. I'd like to invite our next speaker, who is Evelyn, from Eminet. Guys, I want you to tell me, do you see that logo for Eminet? How does it look? I was studying it and I saw, is that you on holding the globe? Awesome, awesome. I love that. It's quite appealing. So, allow me to invite Evelyn, and before you need to learn a little bit about Evelyn. Is this event well organized? Can you say it is well organized? Congratulations, Eminet. And Eminet, the person behind Eminet is Evelyn Casina, a dynamic and accomplished entrepreneur, recognized as the first family IT consultant in Kenya. Hapo ndio mnapiga makofi. Okay? And the region. She's the visionary founder of Imminent Communication Solutions, an IT firm that is dedicated in serving children and their ecosystem. All right? And I love that. And a TikTok safety partner in Sub-Saharan Africa. Safety partner in Sub-Saharan Africa. Imminent empowers the ecosystem community with the necessary skills and tools to create safe digital environments and nurture responsible digital citizens. Evelyn's commitment to advancing digital learning led her to complete a digital learning leadership degree from Deakin University, where she gained an expertise in transforming digital learning practices, engaging digital learners, and evaluating digital learning experiences. She also holds a master's credentials in digital learning, digital literacy, critical thinking, and communication. Hey, who are you again? Critical thinking, eh? It reminds me of philosophy where you are told a man cannot cross the same river twice. Because it's not the same man and it is not the same water. I believe, eh? Thank you very much. With no further ado, Evelyn Kasina, karibu sana.
I had written something, and I remember when I was welcoming Saul, where I told him to speak from the heart. So let me take that cue for myself. And welcome all of you. And I want to just thank you from the bottom of my heart. If I bullied you, if I harassed you, if I called and pleaded and asked you to come, and I know I'm looking at a friend of mine who I told you have to come, you have to be here. I want to thank you because the view from here is amazing. And you people helped me to make these kind of events happen. But starting up my company, I just had one vision to make sure that I make children's lives impactful. I didn't know where I was going with that, but that was back then. And I'm happy today in 2023, I am doing that even on a global scale. So you're right. That is actually me holding the globe. That was my idea. Being a partner with TikTok, being able to, transform and impact lives in such a global scale for me. It reminds me of that young girl back in the day. And my desire has always been to inspire trust and safety for young users. I'm seeing young users who are taught. One particular one called Imani, I happened to teach her over summer break just this year. And she ended up teaching me instead of me teaching her, but she did not know that. And one of the things that she helped me to see very clearly is that as much as children are struggling just to manage the small things like screen time, like the content they're consuming, she helped me to start managing my own screen time from what she was implementing in her own life. I am very glad every time I speak to parents who have come through the sessions, I hear them say the one thing that she taught me is to create tech-free zones in my home where I can be able to interact and engage with my family better. And a tech-free zone, for your information, is just like creating your dining space where you're eating and making sure your screens are not in front of you. And when you look somebody in the eye and ask them what was the best part of the day, not asking them how are you, because they will say fine. But if you look somebody in the eye and ask them what was the best part of the day, they actually think about that one thing that made their day good. Similarly, if somebody had a bad day and you ask them what was your challenge, they think about it. Who made you smile? Those are the small things that children and parents use to interact. And when I create those moments, I feel that there's such impact. I also feel really good when I go to schools and teachers will tell me that children who are having low attention span because of excessive screen time, and I give them the tools to use to help these learners. Every time they come back with positive feedback, that gives me great joy in my heart. So my desire for you today, even as we are going to listen to Zara speaking to us about safety on TikTok, is that you open your minds and be alert to learning. And for the adults who are here who might not be on TikTok, allow yourselves to be taught by your children because they do know better than you, by the way. And that is their new playground. So if you can open your mind and open your heart to learn something, it will help you to help them, to support their online experience. Because we come with the guidelines, we will help them how to connect and be more meaningful, to have a more meaningful experience when they are online. Let them teach you why they desire to have a space like TikTok as their new playground. Henry Ford once said, coming together is the beginning of staying together. And working together is what brings success. I want us to look at that hashtag that says safer together, because we cannot do it individually. And I want to thank Woodcreek for allowing us to be at your school. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I thank you. And I also thank TikTok for allowing us to have this space where we can help everybody who is on the TikTok platform to know that the desire is for you to have meaningful experiences in a safe way. I thank you and I welcome you to this event.
On behalf of TikTok, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the launch of the Phase 2 of the Safer Together public policy program that we're launching in Kenya today. I want to extend a particularly warm welcome to our chief guest for today, Mr. Joel Wamalwa, who is the acting CEO of the Kenya Film Classification Board. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence and for your support today. We really appreciate it. I also want to thank the larger audience that is present today. Our esteemed government officials, teachers, parents, students, and partners. Thank you very much for coming today, and thank you for your support. Without you championing this incredibly crucial and important agenda, it would be impossible for us to make the impact that we've had in the past, but also to make impact as we go along with this intervention in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, digital safety and digital safety awareness is a key agenda and a key priority for TikTok. It is the cornerstone of all the work that we do, and it translates into all of our verticals. As the head of public policy programs for the region, we've launched multiple interventions on digital safety, not just in sub-Saharan Africa, but also in South Asia. And our approach towards public policy programs is guided by certain elements and learnings that we've had over the years, which I would like to share with you. Number one, our approach to digital safety is a multi-stakeholder approach. Wherever we work with local governments, local nonprofits, experts, and academia to help us and guide us and inform us on local nuance, and we want to make sure that the impacts are truly impactful for that community, for that region, and for that country. Secondly, it's very important for us to involve parents and guardians and teachers in these conversations. Over the years that we've learned that having safety conversations just with students is just not enough, because parents, guardians, and teachers, and all of us have a very important role to play in making sure that they feel safe to be able to share the experiences that they're having online. Unfortunately, we've often learned that if a young person is being bullied or being harassed online, the parent is potentially the last person that they come to, and we want to change that. In TikTok itself, we adhere very strictly to our community guidelines. We also have a lot of family features. I heard Evelyn speak about screen time. We have a feature on TikTok where you can control a young person's screen time. You can also link your TikTok account to a young person's account, making sure that you're able to guide them and advise them on how to navigate the digital safety journey safely on TikTok. But beyond the safety features on TikTok, which I think is essential for people to know, because in a lot of our regions, we're learning that people don't really know about those safety features. A lot of people oftentimes don't know that TikTok is for 13 plus, that anybody younger than 13 should not be on TikTok. So again, the onus is on us to work with local partners in raising that awareness, but also really important for us to create a space where we equip our parents, teachers, and guardians on how can you have these important conversations. As a teenager, a young person is very mindful and careful about their privacy. But again, as adults and as people who are older than them, it's our responsibility to help them. So we also want to just provide that safe space for young people as well. The third approach that we have is just listening and learning. Digital safety is a concern that is relevant to the industry. It's an industry-wide issue. But with every intervention we learn, I think Evelyn will also talk a little more deeply about the Safer Together Phase 1, the impact that we've had, what learnings have we had, because again, we're continuously learning. And the most important stakeholder in all of this is obviously the young people who use our platform and who are on social media. We've had extensive research a couple of years ago in which we had young people participating from all over the world. So if you go on TikTok and on our website and you see the community guidelines, especially for young people, those are informed by young people like yourself in the audience today who've told us what they want. So I'm personally very excited about the panel that we have later in the program to hear from young people on, what is it that we can do. I'm really excited about the second phase of Safer Together. I will let Evelyn talk about it a little bit more. But before I go, I do want to thank a few more people. I want to thank Jane Wangi, who is the head of Secretariat, Kenyan Association of International Schools. Thank you very much for hosting us today. I really appreciate it. And I also want to thank our safety partner, Evelyn Casina. Thank you, Evelyn, for your passion to virtual safety. Again, it's very important for us that we work with local experts in really helping us navigate and making sure that the programs that we're implementing are truly beneficial. Thank you again, and I hope to be in Kenya soon for other Safer Together activities. I appreciate your time. I'll hand it back to the MC now. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I mean, I'd like to put a bit of emphasis, especially with what Zara has shared, that especially one of their strategies is listening and learning, especially from young people. And that is how, from their website, the community guidelines are guided by what they learn from the people.
But to ensure that our children are not exposed to harmful or explicit content. As a platform, they will play their part. And as a parent, you have your part. And as a parent, you must verify the age of your children as you create that particular account. It is something absurd that when you are creating that particular platform for your children, you as a parent yourself, you're violating the rules that the minimum age has been set. For the sake of convenience, for the sake of love, your child is still a child. Has nothing to do with this particular platform, especially on adult content. And therefore, age verification is important, and parents should ensure that they adhere to certain measures. Parental controls are critical. They are user tools that are available, and therefore we will want parents to ensure that they activate the parental control tools and monitor the implementation of the same and control their children's activity on such platforms, such as getting strengthening time limits and content restrictions. I will be glad to see as a parent you implement such tools to protect your own child. No one will come to your house as a regulator to tell you to set time limits. As you partner with Imminent today, we will foster education and awareness campaigns. This one will run. And these initiatives to educate children, parents, and guardians about online safety, privacy, and responsible digital citizenship will run throughout the period that Imminent has indicated. But the impact of it has to be that we have indeed implemented the outcomes of this training. Learning alone and without implementing the outcomes is something that I abhor. Reporting mechanisms, yes, we want to have a responsible consumer, and we want to create a simple and accessible reporting mechanism for users, not only on TikTok but all other social media platforms, to report inappropriate content, cyberbullying, and any other. This platform has added platforms. Please do not hesitate to report anomalies. Remember, the many eyeballs report issues on such platforms who will improve how social media content is utilized in the country, how we want our consumers to behave online. We will do regular updates as an entity, as a board. Those of you who are keen, look at the Kenya Film Classification Board history. We've been criticized harshly, but it's from those criticisms that we have emerged as a board today. In 2017, some even advocated for abolition of Kenya Film Classification Board. We have really invented ourselves, but as we reinvent ourselves, we want to maintain that within the new social media era, we are also in that space and we are protecting our children. And by implementing these measures, these package of measures, TikTok, Kenya Film Classification Board, and all the partners can create a safe environment for children where they can explore their creativity while being shielded from harmful content, especially audiovisual content. As such, we also protect them from interactions that are harmful to the children. So without much further ado, I really want to take this opportunity on behalf of myself and the Kenya Film Classification Board to officially declare Seven Together Channel and TikTok event officially launched. Let us be inspired and empower the next generation of digital content creators and make sure that the internet is a better place, not only for ourselves, but for our children. So let's begin this session. Thank you. God bless you.
And hosted by TikTok. So we were delivering the content in terms of just helping everybody who interacts with the platforms to be safe. And I think you've heard Sarah say very well that if you're not 13, you should not be on the program. So that is the threshold. And one of the things that I keep saying as parents is our work is to support. So you always hear me say our work is to support our children's online experiences. And part of that support is instilling values. When we talk about entry level being age 13 and above, there's a value that we need to teach of integrity in there. In that we know that our children go to school to learn mathematics and they can exaggerate their ages so that they look a little older so that they get into these platforms. One of the things that we need to start teaching in order to support our children's online experiences is that key value of integrity. And just as in class and at home I teach my children, is integrity is what you do when people are not seeing you. It could be the right thing and the wrong thing. But I think I've been told by the generation below me, because I'm no longer according to the government, that there is a grey area. So I don't know why they included a grey area. But there's wrong and there's right. So one of the things that we keep teaching is, as we teach about integrity, is that age limit. You have to be 13 and above. And I know, and I'm going to ask you very honestly, when you were logging on to TikTok, did you read the terms and conditions? Ama you will decide, next, finish, accept terms and conditions, apply, okay. Did you read the terms and conditions? That is also something that's very many of us don't read. And when we skip such kind of processes, we will also not read the community guidelines, because those community guidelines are set to keep us safe and to make sure that even as you're consuming and creating, you're creating content that is not injuring the people who are consuming your content. So we are empowering children to take their responsibility. This is what I'm going to tell the young people here. When you create content that is not edifying, it is you who takes 100% responsibility. Why? If we feel that as adults, we are not liking what you've posted, but who takes that responsibility? One day you go to an interview, somebody will ask you for your email address or your account credentials. They go through your content. So your mother is not with you at that point. Your father is not with you at that point. So when you're creating content that is questionable, 100% is your responsibility. Our work is to support and to guide you. And that's why the child is in the center of my ecosystem. That is the person I really focus on. And then I equip parents, teachers, and guardians to know how to integrate. And even as we're doing this through the phase 2, we're going to be showing parents who really don't even read those community guidelines the importance of doing things like family pairing, where I might not really be active on TikTok, but if my child is, I can pair my account with them. If I feel that they're having too much screen time, I can regulate it from my phone. That is a very powerful skill and tool to have to help your child have a moderated and to have better good experiences on the internet space. So of course, at this particular time, as we were doing this, I really thank the Kenya Film Classification Board and the Communications Authority of Kenya, who graced the occasion and also participated in showing us how our efforts are being seen in the national level. I do thank also the Ministry of Education because we were able to access the schools through their guidance and acceptance. And together with TikTok, we were helping to see how we can foster a better and safe environment for children. And not only that, when they feel unsafe, when they feel uncomfortable, like keep telling them in class, it's called a red flag feeling. When somebody or something you watch makes you feel agitated, it makes you feel unhappy or uncomfortable, report. And I think Mr. Amado has said it very well. Don't just leave it there. They exist to help us to monitor those kind of things. When we do report, I can assure you something happens. And you will see even on social media, we will keep writing in the news, this happened because somebody took a step to report. And you can be anonymous or you can still use your credentials to make sure the people who are making you feel like you don't want to be online, they actually get punished for what they're doing because it is not right. So we are also encouraging young users, please report to see what happened. Don't block and not report. Block and report so that something can be done on the people who are creating content that is not edifying to us. So in summary, phase 1 was really to launch what IVMINET in partnership with TikTok is doing in terms of enhancing safety. Remember I said earlier, open to learning. We were looking at the challenges that both people in urban centers and peri-urban centers are facing. And one of the biggest concerns is cyberbullying. I always say this, and I'm waiting for the day I will trend. Kenyans are celebrated for being the worst form. So we used to be called KOT, now we're being called XOT. I think that one has not started yet. So we see for ourselves KOTs. We are ranked as the global bullies, and I think that's not something to celebrate as a country. Because cyberbullying is one of the biggest issues that very many people face, even adults, that make us go into places where we never have thought we would go into. And I think because we have all lived through the COVID season, if the internet was not part of our lives during COVID, I don't think we would have survived that pandemic. But the internet, by virtue of us communicating and collaborating virtually, we were able to still somehow survive COVID and learn new skills. So if we can start eradicating or creating positive spaces on the online media that we have, we can start killing this very big monster I call cyberbullying and trolling. Because I know you know somebody who has been bullied or you have been part of bullying. But I also stand on the other side and say, we are not raising angels and we are not angels ourselves. So we also need to check on ourselves. Are we the ones who are perpetrating that cyberbullying? Or our children, are they going through stuff that are making them feel like they need to hurt other people so that they can feel how they're feeling? It is a double-edged sword and we need to really check on that. Our children don't only consume content, and I like throwing this to the people they speak to. They also create. So as they're creating, are they also creating appropriate content? Yes, we do not want them to consume inappropriate content, but what are they creating? Is it appropriate? Is it not appropriate? So we need to have that. And I think of late, I love Kenyans. If you look at it in Kenya, the Data Commission, the Office of the Data Commissioner started giving people fines. And then even people in class are putting emojis. We are all being very careful about data privacy. And I think that is something that we need to learn each and every day. So as the challenges keep arising and the threats, the sophistication of threats to children and ourselves keep challenging and changing every single day, we need to look for innovative and active intentional ways to keep mitigating those challenges. And it can only be done through constant capacity building and collaboration. That's why I keep thanking you for always showing up and being intentional when such kind of calls are called for us to be in these spaces. So even with that, I think with the key concerns, one of the things we just decided to be able to push across all the cohorts, which are very many cohorts. So even with phase 2, is to make sure that the child connects with the parents. So if you ever sit in my class, one of the things I keep saying is designate a space for your phone. Because I think that's the one thing even as parents as a phone. I keep giving parents feedback all the time. One of the things that children tell me in class is, please tell our parents to keep their phones down. They are addicted on Twitter. And I think Twitter is the one that is always called. But I keep telling them it's because it's the fastest place to get news and stuff like that. So if you want your children to have a grip on their online consumptions, show them. The one thing that you can do is if you're having dinner, place your phone somewhere else, right? Give them eye-to-eye contact. I keep telling people, when you're having conversations with children, don't let them look at you. You can go down to their level. because then they feel you, they feel heard, and that is a space where you can connect. So some of the things that we will keep doing is to ensure that parents are active and being intentional. Being active is one thing, but being very intentional. And you can try this tomorrow morning, and then I'll give you an assignment for tomorrow morning, then I'll give you an assignment for the weekend, because today is Wednesday. So tomorrow morning, try not to go to the toilet with your phone. Try. It will be difficult, but just keep it here, go and come back. Then make it a habit. It will take 60 days for that to sink in, to make it a habit. Stop going to the toilet with your phone. But over the weekend, if you can go and look for a shop that sells alarm clocks, buy an alarm clock so that you can stop using the excuse of and then before you even step down from your bed, you've communicated to a million people in the very many WhatsApp groups and the TikTok spaces you're in before you even say good morning to the people within your space. Try those two things. Buy an alarm clock and don't go to the toilet with your phone. So that at least what we are doing here makes sense. Children learn from seeing what we do, even if they listen. Sometimes they don't, but when they look and see that even we are struggling with our own habits, they know that there is pain when you're changing certain habits. So try those two things, and if you follow me on that, and how it's going. So our summary, you know the Kenyans. Some my daughter told me, even though a joke is in your mind, laugh. So first I'm going to laugh because a joke came into my mind. I'm going to a meeting where somebody said summary in slide 2, in slide 5, and a summary before the summary. So this is my summary. I don't think those people will say, and in summary, when our summary for phase 1 had just one objective, is to just provide insights on internet safety and to start changing behavior. If you want a behavior to change, but then it takes 60 days, constant habit. But the first 10 days are the hardest. And if you've ever tried to lose weight, that is one of the days. So changing habits and behavior to make an effective use of the digital platforms, that was one of our objectives. And we are extending our audience from just students or learners under 18. And I'm very happy that today, actually my team, the team that I have, are young people. As I say, this is the year that the government called them young adults. So they feel nice when they're being called young adults. And last year somebody was 18 and then now they're 19, young adults. So we are extending it to young adults, but also this particular phase that is coming, we are going to train teachers so that the teachers can train students, so that we can have as much impact as possible. So we would really love us if you can invite us to your schools. I think with the Kenya Films, and we're doing a parenting program called Paddle. If we can meet people of influence, people who have large volumes of access to students, we teach those ones, then they will go and teach the students. So I think this was our summary for phase 1. I'm really excited to do phase 2 because it will first allow me to also go into places where people use the internet for very different reasons. I think in Nairobi we have special reasons. We have special ways of using the internet. One of which, if you get into a restaurant or somebody's house, the first thing people ask is, password the internet in? Serial. But there are places where people get into the internet to do very many different things. And as we are doing this, we thank the government of Makueni because they allowed us to be in their space. So we wanted to go to other counties and explore how people are using the internet and to be able to just show them how they can benefit and enrich their lives through platforms like TikTok. Our MC builds a business on TikTok. So we need to be able to see how each and every one of us can build something that they can leverage on TikTok. Personally, I've started cooking and poisoning people in my house from recipes I get on TikTok. I just keep telling I saw something and I'm going to follow it, but we will not die. And because somebody has not gotten sick yet, I'll continue getting recipes from the platforms that, from the people that I follow on TikTok. So this is where we went to see Governor, His Excellency, the Governor of Makueni, Mutula Kilonzo Jr., who welcomed us to his county, and we were very appreciative of that. So we want to open up our space to more counties so that we're able to reach as many people as possible. And I think with that, because I had summarized, we can go into launching phase 2, correct?
Thank you, Evelyn, for your excellent presentation. Really, I'm not going to repeat myself because I think we've already sort of set the tone in the beginning. But I just want to say that anything to do with digital safety, it's a long process. We've launched phase one, we've learned from it in terms of what we need to do better. We want to increase the scope of the program as well. I also listened to our Honorable Chief Guest talk about how important parental guidance is and the important role that adults have to play in. This program really wants to focus on that. So going forward, it's increasing the ambit of the program, increasing the depth of the intervention, and hopefully this is going to be one of many interventions around digital safety for us in Kenya, for incredible partners like Evelyn, working with them together, and of course having the endorsement and support from the government. So again, really grateful to our chief guest, Mr. Joel Pamawa, for his support and for his endorsement of our coming here today. So it means a lot to us, and hopefully we can work together and working closely on this incredibly important agenda moving forward. So excited about the Safer Together Phase 2 launch. Over to you, Evelyn.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Safer together.